Mickey Rourke, born Philip Andre Rourke, Jr. on September 16, 1952, in Schenectady, New York, is an American actor, screenwriter, and former professional boxer. He has lived a life full of both triumphs and tribulations, which have shaped his career in Hollywood and beyond. His unique combination of vulnerability, depth, and physicality has made him one of the most exciting and compelling actors of his generation. His life story is one of reinvention, resilience, and the pursuit of personal redemption through art. Mickey Rourke's early life was marked by hardship. His parents divorced when he was a child, and he moved with his mother to Miami, Florida, where he was raised in a tough neighborhood. During his youth, he developed an interest in sports, particularly boxing, which became an essential outlet for his energy and aggression. Rourke began boxing at the age of 12, training at the famed Fifth Street Gym in Miami, and by the time he was 16, he had won his first boxing match. His early experiences in the ring instilled in him a sense of discipline and tenacity that would later serve him well in his acting career. However, it was during his high school years that Rourke first became interested in acting. He participated in school plays, discovering a new way to channel his emotion. His performances revealed a talent for conveying raw, powerful emotions, which set him apart from his peers. After graduation, Rourke briefly attended acting school in New York, where he studied under the legendary acting coach Sandra Seacat, who would later become one of his most important mentors. Mickey Rourke's rise to fame in Hollywood began in the late 1970s and early 1980s, when he took on small but impactful roles in films such as 1000, 941, 1979, and Heaven's Gate, 1980. However, it was his performance in the 1981 film Body Heat that truly put him on the map. In this neo-noir thriller, Rourke played a small-time criminal with a smoldering intensity that captivated audiences. His brief but memorable appearance in the film established him as a rising star in the industry. The 1980s proved to be a pivotal decade for Rourke, as he delivered several acclaimed performances in films such as Diner, 1982, Rumble Fish, 1983, and The Pope of Greenwich Village, 1984. His roles in these films showcased his ability to portray complex, troubled characters with emotional depth and authenticity. Rourke's good looks, combined with his brooding persona, made him a sex symbol. But he was more interested in challenging himself as an actor than in maintaining a Hollywood image. His breakout role came in 1986, when he starred in 9½ Weeks, a highly controversial erotic drama opposite Kim Basinger. The film, though divisive among critics, gained a cult following and cemented Rourke's reputation as one of the most daring actors of his era. His performance was both sensual and tortured, capturing the darker side of human relationships. Rourke followed this with roles in critically acclaimed films like Angel Heart, 1987, where he played a private detective caught in a web of supernatural intrigue, and Barfly, 1987, where he portrayed the hard-drinking poet Charles Bukowski with raw, gritty realism. Despite his success, Rourke's career took a downward turn in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Frustrated with the direction his career was taking and disillusioned by Hollywood, he walked away from acting to pursue a career in professional boxing. Rourke's decision to return to the ring surprised many, as he had already established himself as a major talent in the film industry. However, his love for boxing and desire to reclaim his sense of self pushed him back into the sport. Between 1991 and 1994, Rourke fought several professional bouts, winning 6 matches and drawing 1. However, his boxing career came at a physical cost, as he suffered numerous injuries, including broken bones and facial damage that required reconstructive surgery. Rourke's time in the boxing ring reflected the turbulence of his personal life. He battled with addiction, struggled with relationships, and faced financial difficulties. His career seemed to be in free fall, and he became estranged from Hollywood, earning a reputation for being difficult to work with. Despite these setbacks, Rourke never gave up on his passion for acting, and in the late 1990s he began to make his way back into the industry, taking on smaller roles in independent films. Mickey Rourke's remarkable career comeback began in the early 2000s when he appeared in films like Sin City, 2005, where he portrayed the brutal but sympathetic Marv, a role that once again showcased his ability to bring humanity to dark and violent characters. The film was a commercial success, and Rourke's performance was widely praised, signaling his return to form. Mickey Rourke's career has been one of the most fascinating and complex stories in Hollywood. What went wrong with Mickey Rourke? The answer to that question is multifaceted, involving a combination of personal struggles, career missteps, and a dramatic change in his image and identity. Once considered one of the most promising actors of his generation, Rourke's rise to fame in the 1980s seemed unstoppable. He delivered standout performances in films such as Diner, 1982, Rumblefish, 1983, and 9½ Weeks, 1986, where his raw talent and smoldering charisma earned him comparisons to acting legends like Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro. His unique combination of vulnerability and depth made him a screen icon, loved by audiences and revered by critics. However, over time, his promising career began to unravel due to a variety of factors. Mickey Rourke's career trajectory took a sharp turn after he began clashing with industry figures and making risky career choices. By the late 1980s and early 1990s, he was developing a reputation for being difficult to work with, which alienated directors, producers, and studio executives. His refusal to conform to Hollywood's expectations, combined with his defiance toward authority, led him to turn down significant roles that could have propelled his career forward. Rourke famously rejected parts in films like Pulp Fiction, 1994, and Rain Man, 1988, both of which went on to become iconic. These decisions proved costly, as the roles he accepted instead were often in less successful or critically panned films, leading to a period of career stagnation. This period marked the beginning of his slow descent from Hollywood's A-list, as his unwillingness to play by the rules and his insistence on artistic freedom created friction with the industry. In the early 1990s, Rourke made an unexpected and highly controversial decision to leave acting and return to his first passion, boxing. He had dabbled in boxing as a young man before his acting career took off, and he saw it as a way to reconnect with a part of himself that he felt Hollywood had taken away. However, the transition from actor to professional boxer had significant physical and psychological consequences for Rourke. Boxing took a serious toll on his body, particularly his face, which sustained multiple injuries including broken bones and damage to his nose and cheekbones. In an effort to repair these injuries, Rourke underwent several rounds of plastic surgery, but the results were far from successful. The surgeries significantly altered his appearance, making him almost unrecognizable from the heartthrob he had once been. This transformation had a profound impact on his acting career, as his new look limited the types of roles he could be cast in, further alienating him from mainstream Hollywood. Alongside his professional issues, Mickey Rourke was also battling significant personal demons. Throughout much of his life, he struggled with substance abuse, anger management issues, and deep-seated emotional pain. Rourke has been candid about his troubled childhood, which was marked by an abusive stepfather and feelings of alienation. These early traumas manifested in self-destructive behavior as he became an adult. He had tumultuous relationships, including his marriage to actress Carey Otis, which was marred by allegations of domestic abuse and substance issues. His emotional turmoil also led to long periods of isolation and depression, during which he distanced himself from friends, colleagues, and the film industry. This emotional instability not only contributed to his erratic behavior on set, but also made it difficult for him to maintain personal and professional relationships. After spending much of the 1990s and early 2000s in relative obscurity, Mickey Rourke made a triumphant return to the big screen with his critically acclaimed performance in The Wrestler, 2008. Directed by Darren Aronofsky, the film told the story of a washed-up professional wrestler trying to rebuild his life, a character whose struggles mirrored many of Rourke's own. Rourke's portrayal of Randy the Ram Robinson was raw, emotional, and deeply personal, and it reminded audiences and critics alike of the immense talent he had always possessed. The role earned him numerous awards, including a Golden Globe, a BAFTA, and an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. The wrestler marked a significant turning point in Rourke's career, proving that despite the many obstacles he had faced, he still had the ability to deliver a powerful and memorable performance. However, while the wrestler re-established his reputation as a serious actor, it did not fully return him to the Hollywood A-list. Although the wrestler revitalized Mickey Rourke's career, his subsequent projects were a mixed bag. He took on supporting roles in major films such as Iron Man 2, 2010, and The Expendables, 2010, but he never quite recaptured the same level of critical or commercial success. Some of his later films were critically panned or failed to make a significant impact at the box office. Additionally, his difficult relationships with directors and producers continued to be an issue, leading to reports of on-set clashes and strained collaborations. Even though he had managed to stage a remarkable comeback, the challenges that had plagued him earlier in his career, his temperament, his altered appearance, and his emotional baggage, remained present. His personal life has been as dramatic as his film roles, marked by a series of high-profile marriages, including his marriages to actress Deborah Feuer and model Carey Otis. His relationship with Otis, in particular, was widely publicized due to allegations of domestic violence and the couple's volatile dynamics. Rourke has been open about his struggles with anger management and self-destructive behavior, and in later years he sought therapy and began to focus on his mental well-being. One of the constants in Rourke's life has been his love for animals, especially his beloved dogs. He has often spoken about how his pets have helped him through some of his darkest moments, providing him with unconditional love and companionship. In interviews, Rourke has credited his dogs with saving his life during times when he felt he had little else to live for.